Welcome to Headphone News, Greater Vancouver edition for Thursday, November 21st, 2024.
Canucks lose close game to Rangers. On November 20th, 2024, the Vancouver Canucks played against the New York Rangers in a National Hockey League game at Rogers Arena in Vancouver, British Columbia. The Canucks lost the game 4-3 despite a strong effort. Captain Quinn Hughes scored the first goal just 34 seconds into the game, giving the Canucks an early lead. However, the Rangers quickly tied the game and then took the lead. The Canucks managed to tie the game twice, with Connor Garland scoring to make it 3-3. Unfortunately, Chris Kreider scored the winning goal for the Rangers with just over 9 minutes remaining. The Canucks now hold a record of 9 wins, 6 losses, and 3 overtime losses this season. The team will face challenges in upcoming games as they continue to deal with injuries to key players.
Severe storm hits British Columbia. A powerful storm, called a bomb cyclone, hit southwest British Columbia on November 19, 2024. The storm produced hurricane-force winds, with gusts reaching nearly 160 kilometers per hour. On November 20th, about 90,000 residents on Vancouver Island faced power outages. Most ferry services, including those between Vancouver and Vancouver Island, were cancelled. The Ahousaht First Nation reported damage to buildings and boats. This storm marked the second major windstorm to affect the region in just 1 week.
BC Ferries cancels sailings due to high winds. On November 20th, 2024, BC Ferries cancelled multiple sailings between Metro Vancouver and Vancouver Island due to high winds that posed safety risks. Sailings from Tawasin to Duke Point and Swartz Bay were suspended until after 9 a.m. Additionally, the first 2 sailings from Horseshoe Bay to Departure Bay were also cancelled. BC Ferries urged travelers to check their website for updates and subscribe to service notices for immediate alerts. The Operations and Security Centre monitored weather conditions closely, staying in contact with Environment Canada every 10 minutes to ensure the safety of all passengers and crew.
Landslide impacts salmon in British Columbia. In late July 2024, a significant landslide blocked the Chilcotin River in British Columbia, Canada, creating an 11-kilometer lake and raising serious concerns about local salmon populations. The Chilcotin National Government, along with other agencies, established a task force to assess the situation. Since the landslide, 3 major slope failures have occurred, with the most recent on November 8th, which blocked the river for approximately 3 hours. Updates reveal that adult steelhead salmon are still present above the slide site, indicating that some fish have managed to navigate past the blockage. Ongoing research is essential to understand the long-term effects on the salmon population. This situation remains critical for both the environment and local communities that rely on fishing.
BC Conservative leader forms shadow cabinet amid controversy. John Rustad, the leader of the British Columbia Conservative Party, has named 41 members to his shadow cabinet. This includes MLA Brent Chapman, who faced backlash for controversial social media comments during the election. Rustad seeks to hold Premier Eby accountable for government spending and challenges in health care and public safety. He also criticized Eby for appointing 42 out of 47 members of the Legislative Assembly to cabinet positions. Members of the Legislative Assembly earn over $119,500 Canadian dollars annually, while cabinet ministers receive an additional $59,766 Canadian dollars.
Canada Post strike disrupts mail services. A strike by Canada Post workers has led to significant disruptions in mail delivery across Canada. The strike started on November 15, 2024, due to disagreements over wages and working conditions. Service Canada is currently holding around 85,000 passports, which prevents many individuals from accessing essential travel documents. While some government assistance checks are still being delivered, critical payments like provincial income assistance are not being sent out. Community advocates express concern that vulnerable populations may find it difficult to receive the support they need during this period. This situation underscores the vital role of reliable postal services in daily life.
Fire displaces residents in Burnaby apartment building. A fire erupted in a 3-story apartment building in Burnaby, British Columbia on November 19, 2024. The blaze sent 2 people to the hospital and displaced about 100 residents. The Burnaby Fire Department responded to the emergency call at 12:30 a.m. Surveillance footage showed 2 individuals near the building just before the fire ignited, leading the Burnaby Royal Canadian Mounted Police to investigate the incident as a possible arson. Some residents have started to return home, while others are still displaced. The city of Burnaby is offering support to those affected by the fire.
Major drug bust in Surrey, Canada. The Surrey Royal Canadian Mounted Police, known as RCMP, announced a major drug bust. This operation resulted in the seizure of significant quantities of illegal drugs, including 36 kilograms of fentanyl, 23 kilograms of MDMA, and 20 kilograms of cocaine. Authorities also confiscated firearms and $119,000 in cash. 3 men were arrested during this year-long investigation. The RCMP emphasized that this bust will disrupt the local drug trade and enhance community safety in British Columbia.
Tragic rollover crash in Surrey claims 2 lives. A tragic rollover crash took place on Highway 99 in Surrey, British Columbia, early on November 20, 2024. 2 teenagers lost their lives in this accident. An 18-year-old male driver from Richmond and a 15-year-old female passenger from Surrey were found dead inside the vehicle, which was completely engulfed in flames. Police received reports of the collision just before 3:40 a.m. Speed is considered a major factor in the ongoing investigation. Highway 99 remained closed for most of the day as authorities worked at the scene. This incident underscores the urgent need for improved road safety awareness, particularly for young drivers.
Search for missing kayaker in West Vancouver. A 36-year-old man is missing after a kayaking trip in West Vancouver, British Columbia. He left Bachelor Bay at 12:40 p.m. on November 19 for a short paddle but failed to return by the expected time of 2:30 p.m. Concern grew, and he was reported missing shortly after 4 p.m. The West Vancouver Police Department is leading the search, with support from the Joint Rescue Coordination Centre and the Canadian Coast Guard. Stormy weather conditions on the day of the incident may have affected the kayaker's trip. Authorities urge anyone with information about the missing man to reach out to the police.
British Columbia promotes film industry in California. A delegation from the British Columbia government visited California to promote the province as a top destination for film production. The group included Spencer Chandra Herbert, the Minister of Tourism, Arts, Culture and Sport, Finance Minister Brenda Bailey, and Parliamentary Secretary for Arts and Film Nina Krieger. The purpose of the trip was to attract major film projects to British Columbia, which currently offers a 28% production services credit to filmmakers. Premier David Eby has pledged to increase this credit to 36%. The film industry in British Columbia supports over 47,500 jobs and contributed approximately $3.3 billion to the province's economy in 2022. This visit aims to enhance the province's competitive edge in the film market.
BC Lions fire head coach Rick Campbell. The BC Lions, a Canadian football team located in Vancouver, British Columbia, have fired head coach Rick Campbell. This decision comes after a season that started strong with a record of 5 wins and 1 loss, but ended with a disappointing 9 wins and 9 losses. The Lions made the playoffs, but were eliminated in the Western Conference semifinal by the Saskatchewan Roughriders. New general manager Ryan Rigmaiden highlighted the need for greater mental toughness and accountability within the team. The Lions will interview several candidates for the head coach position as they aim to improve team performance and direction.
Increase in living wage for Metro Vancouver. Metro Vancouver's living wage has increased to $27.05 per hour for 2024, marking a 5% rise from last year's rate of $25.68. This increase is mainly due to rising costs of food and housing. The rental budget for a living wage family has gone up by 9.5%, with many residents spending over 30% of their income on rent. This situation highlights the urgent need for better affordability in the region. Living Wage BC, the organization responsible for calculating living wages, reports that 450 employers in British Columbia are committed to paying this wage. For individuals without children, the living wage is slightly higher at $27.35 per hour. The provincial minimum wage in British Columbia is currently $17.40 per hour, while the average monthly rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Vancouver is around $2,700.
Richmond RCMP seeks help in assault case. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police in Richmond, British Columbia, are asking for public assistance to identify a suspect in an assault that took place at a local business on September 20, 2024. The incident occurred around 7:15 a.m. when a man entered the store and attacked an employee, hitting him in the face multiple times. The suspect is described as 5 feet 5 inches tall, with a heavy build, short black hair, and a black mustache and beard. At the time, he was wearing a white t-shirt, light blue jeans, and white Adidas sneakers. Police encourage anyone with information to call 604-278-1212 and reference file number 2024 to 29993.
BC Lions fire head coach Rick Campbell. The BC Lions, a Canadian football team in British Columbia, have fired head coach and co-general manager Rick Campbell. This decision comes after a season that started strong with a record of 5 wins and 1 loss but ended with a disappointing 9 wins and 9 losses. The Lions made the playoffs but were eliminated in the Western Conference semifinal by the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Team president Dwayne Vino praised Campbell for his contributions in making the team competitive since he joined in December 2019. Under Campbell's leadership, the team recorded 38 wins and 30 losses in the regular season and 2 wins and 3 losses in the playoffs. In a move to restructure, Neil McAvoy has been promoted to Vice President of Football Operations, and Assistant General Manager Ryan Rigmaiden will take over as General Manager. These changes aim to improve the team's performance for the upcoming season.
That is all the news for today. Thank you for listening to today's Headphone News. News summary brought to you by AI.